Welcome, Claire. Welcome, Stephanie. Again, if you're just joining, drop your name and what brings you to Discover Seattle Colleges in the chat. So glad to have you all here today. I am going to go ahead and get started, but please feel free to continue that in the chat. Guests and participants, faculty and staff, welcome to Discover Seattle Colleges 2026. We're so glad you're here. My name is Nick, and I have the honor of being your host this afternoon. So some of you may be graduating high school and exploring your college options for the first time. Others of you are just, maybe you're a few years into your career and you're looking for a change. And others of you, you may be students at Seattle colleges already and you're just looking to explore your options. Whatever has brought you here today, I want to offer you a warm welcome on behalf of Seattle colleges and tell you how excited we are that you're here. And that we have an opportunity to explore and discover alongside of you. We are a district of 3 colleges, North Seattle College, Seattle Central College, and South Seattle College. And together we are unified. We are the Seattle colleges. And as our name implies, you can find us all over Seattle, but not just our main campuses. You'll also find our specialty centers. You've got the Seattle Maritime Academy, got Wood Tech, you've got the Georgetown campus, and for a lot of you here tonight, the Health Education Center is going to be a really important one for you to be considering. The question that I anticipate is on a lot of your minds tonight is, what can I study at Seattle colleges? And the answer is just about anything. We have 130 plus programs across these 8 areas of study. So I encourage you to spend the next week or two thinking about which of these areas of study jumps out at you, what intrigues you, and don't limit yourself to just one. Today, we're focused on 2. We're focused on education and human services, and we're focused on health and medical. But during the rest of the week, we're going to have online events for all the rest of these. And so I encourage you to just jump back in. The Zoom link is the same. So tomorrow at 4, Wednesday at 4, Thursday at 4, feel free to jump back and come hear about all the other programs that we have available. And here's a snapshot of all the different programs that we have available. Again, we have 130 plus programs at Seattle colleges. And for a more comprehensive, this is just a snapshot, but for a more comprehensive look, I would head to our all programs page. You can find this at seattlecolleges.edu/programs. If one of my team can drop that in the chat just so that we can access that, that would be great. Once you get to this page, you'll want to navigate to the 3 bottom tiles and select either programs at North, programs at Central, or programs at South. And from there, you'll see a listing of all the programs that we have by areas of study. And once you get there and you're looking at the different programs, you're going to see a lot of different credentials. Was I muted?
Yeah, you were.
How long was I muted for?
Just for a second.
There we go. Perfect. All right, we're on it. We got it. So these are the credentials that we offer here at Seattle colleges. And so when you go to that all programs page, you're going to see these kind of scattered throughout. Some of our programs are designed to help students get their high school diploma and or GED. Other programs are certificates. Some of them are longer certificates. Some of them are short term that you can stack on top of one another. We have 2-year associate degrees, and then we have bachelor's degrees that take another 2 years after that associate's degree. And here's the best part about all of this is that you get to jump in and off this track as much as you want. There's no right way to do this. We have some students who they come for a certificate and then they go to work and they never come back. We have other students who get a certificate, they work for a few years, they come back for an associate's degree, and then they work for a few years, and then they decide, oh, I really want to get a bachelor's degree. Whatever path you want to take, as long as it's helping you achieve your goals, that's what we want you to do. And so there's a customization that you can build into your experience here. Now, the big question always is, how am I going to fund this, right? How am I going to pay for college? And what I want you to do this week is I want you to to really let the money question go, and I want you to explore what programs are available to you. That's the purpose of this. So this week, I want you to use your imagination and get excited about what you can study. The funding question will always be there, but here's the great thing. We have funding for you, right? We have financial aid. We have things like workforce funding. We have foundation scholarships, and this is just the start. So keep in mind, there is funding for you, and there are folks that are going to help you figure that out. Now, actually here today, for the first time at Discover, we have 3 funding navigators. And navigators, if you're here and you're able, if you can throw up some emojis or post in the chat or wave or do something, indicate to us who you are. If you have questions about funding today, go ahead and direct message those folks because they want to help make the link between what you want to study and how you can start. Okay. So make sure that you're reaching out to them. They're going to be here during this event. And I want to thank those 3 for being here. It's really exciting. I also want to do a quick plug for the virtual FAFSA workshops that happen Tuesdays at noon on Zoom. And if you take a picture of this QR code later, it takes you to a Zoom room. So don't go there now, but later you can navigate to that and you can jump in tomorrow at noon or the next Tuesday, learn how to apply for financial aid, get your questions answered, and get some one-on-one assistance. And keep in mind, again, we've got events all week, so come join us. If you're not sure, health and medical, yeah, but I also like skilled trades. Maybe I want to go into culinary. Maybe I want to be an artist. Come back, join us. You don't have to make a decision today. This is all about exploring. So coming up, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to stop talking soon because I know you're here for the programs. So we're going to switch to presentations. The program faculty and staff are going to give 5-minute presentations about their programs. We have about 9 programs tonight. And then after that, we're going to split up into breakout rooms. All of the programs are going to be in their own breakout rooms. And you can head there and you can ask questions one-on-one with the faculty or staff. Okay, so bear with me as I stop sharing this presentation and I move to our program presentation. Cue Jeopardy music. And 1 second. Here we go. Jordy, we can see this, yeah? Perfect. Okay. So tonight we're talking about health and medical, education and human services, and these are your presenters today. So thank you, faculty and staff, for being here. We're very excited to hear from you. This is a fun group. Students, guests, participants, please throw your questions in the chat. We will answer as best we can, or you can wait till the end for that Q&A. These are tonight's programs. These are the programs that are going to be highlighted and that are giving presentations. But remember, there's a lot of other programs in these areas of study that are not represented here tonight. So if you have questions about those, you can ask us as well, and we can get you some information about them. But to start us off, I'm going to jump off camera. I'm going to hand it over to Meredith Bain. Hi, Meredith, to talk about biomedical equipment technology. Take it away, Meredith.
Great, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Meredith Bain, and I am the outreach specialist for the electronics programs here at North Seattle College. Tonight, I'm going to talk about one of our programs, which is the Biomedical Equipment Technology Program. Our Biomedical Equipment Technology Program is a great fit for anyone that likes to learn by doing. So if you're someone that finds yourself taking things apart and putting them back together to try to figure out why it's not working, this is a great program for you. If you have an interest in healthcare and continue to like to fix things, it's a great combination of those two. In this program, you will learn how to maintain and repair common equipment that is used throughout hospitals. You can see on the slide here, it is an Associate of Applied Science. That's that hands-on part that we're talking about. So you're going to have labs where you're going to learn how to do some of this stuff. If you attend school full-time, you will complete in about 7 quarters. You can start any quarter, spring, summer, fall, winter. Since the focus is on that applied learning, that in-person with that lab part, most of the classes are going to be in person with a few classes offered online as well. The requirements are going to be to place into English 98, Math 84. If you're a student that's taking English language classes, that would be level 5B in the Seattle colleges. A few things to highlight. Um, our instructors create a supportive learning environment and really encourage questions. In our biomedical equipment technician program, you will take your classroom knowledge and apply it directly into the lab. So that's why you'll see kind of large chunks of time for your classes, is because you'll have that classroom time and then lab time directly after that. The biomedical lab, we have a specific biomedical lab that's set up to resemble a workshop that you would find in a hospital. You'll have your workbench and medical equipment, and it needs to be tested or repaired. And so you will learn how to test common equipment that you're using in a hospital. You'll be using that knowledge and your resources to figure out, how can I fix this? Why isn't this working? Before it can be used again in a hospital, right? And you'll be working with your instructors and your classmates in that setting. This is all done with your instructors. They're in that lab with you and really allows you to learn and practice your new skills in a safe environment. In addition to kind of the electronics classes such as DC and AC theory, and IT essentials and fluid power, you're also going to be taking chemistry, medical terminology, and project management with some general education classes as well. And then if we want to talk about careers, one of the big things in this program is that you will complete an externship. This is usually at a local hospital where you will have this opportunity to take all of the learning that you've had over the last 7 quarters and apply it in the workplace. So you'll work with a team of biomedical equipment technicians. This usually happens at the very end of your program. So usually right before you're graduating, you'll complete this externship. So before you start looking for jobs, you'll have experience actually working in a team of biomeds in a hospital. Our faculty has worked in the biomedical industry, has built really strong connections and networks within local hospitals and the industry here. They understand the skills that local employers are looking for and really want you to be successful in the field. Our graduates work in various hospitals as a biomedical equipment technician or a BMET. They work at UW, Harborview, Virginia Mason, Providence. They also sometimes work for a medical device company doing service and repair of a specific medical equipment within an area or territory. We hear back from our students all the time saying, I'm so happy in my job as a biomedical equipment. It's combining everything that I wanted to do, fixing things, working in a team, and the classes really set them up for success. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Meredith, so much. Now we'll turn it over to Janet Hinson for Community Health and Education.
Hi, everyone. I'm Janet Hinson. I'm the full-time faculty lead for Community Health and Education. So we are a Bachelor of Applied Science degree. So this is for folks who have a demonstrated allied health background and have already fulfilled a couple of prerequisites. Notably English 102 and sometimes also Math 146, that's statistics. So we're here for folks who are interested in education at the community level to help people make informed decisions that ultimately lead to positive health outcomes. So our whole thing is about helping communities flourish. We meet both in person and online, and our program takes typically 6 quarters full-time or 7 or more if a student is attending part-time. And our students go through our program kind of at their own, the students can choose how they want to do, whether full-time or part-time. And we meet fall, winter, and spring. We don't have classes in the summer. Our class sizes tend to be pretty small. And when we hold class, it's in the evenings at the Health Education Center or online over Zoom. So yeah, real highlights are that we're really preparing to engage with community, right? So we're doing health education. That's what we're doing. We focus on advocacy, communication, and management skills. And I noticed someone in the chat had mentioned a background in marketing, for example. this maybe we could check in because we do a lot of like helping create messages that resonate with our communities so that health information is relatable and understandable. Our classes are flexible in the evenings, 1 day a week, with a lot of online learning activity as well. Our classes are super practical skill development. You're applying what you're learning as you go. And toward the end of the program, our students create a senior portfolio. And a key feature of that is that they go out into the community and do service learning with a nonprofit agency as like one of the key highlights that we do. So basically what we do is assessment of needs, and we plan and implement programming. We look at research, we evaluate information. We, as I mentioned, a lot of advocacy and communication, that's really key. We also look at leadership and management skills and ethics and professionalism. So that's kind of what we do. Right, where do we work? We tend to work in nonprofits, in government agencies, hospitals, schools, medical clinics, and more. And we do also have graduates working all over Seattle area, and we also do have a relationship where we also have a pre-PA pathway for students who are interested in becoming a PA, or sometimes called a physician assistant, or sometimes called a physician associate. So that's a whole other pathway that could be explored for those who are interested. So
Thank you, Janet. And next, introducing dental assisting is Dr. Tracy Cook.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Tracy Cook, and I'm going to be giving you a little bit of information about dental programs and a little bit more information about dental assisting. I'm the dental assisting lead, but at Seattle Central College, we have 3 programs that are involved in dentistry. We have the dental assisting program, which is a certificate program, which is a 12-month program. And then we have an expanded functions dental assisting program that is a 9-month program, but you have to have about 3 years of experience as a dental assistant before you can apply for the EFTA program. And then we have a bachelor's degree dental hygiene program. And as I'm the lead of the dental assisting program, a little bit of information about our dental assisting program is that it's a certificate program. It's 4 quarters. It is run on the hybrid method, meaning that it is in person, and we have some classes and coursework that we do online. Right now, we're running every fall through the summer, and our class size caps out at about 24 students. The eligibility for the dental assisting program is a high school diploma or GED, and our program is located in the Health Education Center on Beacon Hill. Our program gives you all the foundational skills of working in dentistry, dental terminology. You have a radiology class. That's what the students are doing this quarter. You learn how to assist the doctor in doing dental fillings. We teach you about all the dental specialties. We actually have a functioning dental clinic right there in the school on the 4th floor, where you will actually be assisting doctors working on patients. Right now, dental assisting is a career field that's in demand. Once you become a dental assistant, there are other areas in which you can expand. You can have the skills and knowledge to seek a lab technician position. You can go into sterilization technician. A lot of dental assistants work at the front desk. And they also become practice managers quite a bit. We have typically had 100% placement. Right now, the dental profession is highly sought after.
Thank you, Dr. Cook. Appreciate your time. And next for nursing, I'm going to turn it over to Beth Beadley.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
We sure can.
Okay. Welcome to Discover Seattle Colleges. I'm really thrilled to see so many of you are involved in nursing. My name is Beth Beadling, and I'm an instructor here at the program. We have a traditional in-person nursing program that leads to an associate degree. Our students typically complete the program in 6 quarters, and they have 3 quarters of prerequisites that they complete beforehand. Sometimes students need a little extra time, so they can complete in 7 quarters. They can add an extra quarter on if need be. Some students will pause during the program, but generally most students finish in 6 quarters. We do admit students in the fall and in the winter, and we have approximately 30 students, between 25 and 30 students per location. To get admitted to the program, you do complete those 45 credits of prerequisites. You do need to have a minimum GPA of 2.5. And also, our students complete a nursing assistant training program here in the state of Washington. You must obtain your CNA test before you get into the program. And we actually offer a very robust CNA program here at Seattle Colleges. So that's a great way to get started, is to start in the CNA program and then progress into the RN program. Our program is in really good standing right now. We are accredited by ASIN, the Accreditation Commission for Education and Nursing, and we have a high pass rate on the National Nursing Board exam. It's called the NCLEX, and we have about 84% of our students pass that test on the first attempt, and that's a pretty good statistic. So we do offer a variety of learning experiences. So not only do you spend time in the classroom in a typical lecture type of environment, our students also utilize our laboratory and our simulation rooms to practice nursing skills, learn how to give a shot, hang an IV, do patient assessments. We have some very sophisticated mannequins in our laboratories that students work with to practice their skills and learn how to do all the necessary steps of nursing from start to finish. In addition to classroom and laboratory work, our students also attend clinical in the community. So that means they go out into local facilities such as a hospital or nursing home, healthcare facility, and with supervision from a clinical instructor, they work on real people out in the community to boost their nursing skills. So careers are plentiful for nurses here in Seattle. There's a great demand. Many of our students become employed within a month or a few months of passing their NCLEX exam. Sometimes they have a job commitment before they take their test, and then contingent upon passing the NCLEX exam, they start their new job. So very high demand for nurses here in the Seattle metro area in the state of Washington. After you pass your NCLEX, you are qualified to work as a nurse in the state of Washington. Our biggest employers and partners are Providence, Swedish, UW Medical Center, Harborview. We have quite a few students who work part-time at these facilities while they're going to nursing school and also get jobs there right afterwards, and also Seattle Children's. So Yeah, we continue to grow our program, and we're getting stronger and stronger every year. And I would love to talk to any of you further in the breakout room afterwards about the nursing program here at Seattle Colleges. And I do need to tell you that I'm actually a graduate of the program, and it's one of the top 10 best decisions I ever made in my life. So I highly recommend Seattle College's registered nursing program.
Thank you so much, Beth.
You're welcome.
Next to speak about pharmacy technician is Leanne Dittmer.
Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect. I'm Leanne Dittmar. I'm the program coordinator and full-time faculty for pharmacy technician program. I'm actually a pharmacist by training, been working in the field for a couple of decades now. And the pharmacy technician program at North Seattle College is a 9 to 12 month program. We are an advanced ASHP accredited program, and that 9 to 12 months gets you to a certificate degree. It's a fast track into healthcare, and there is that option to add on associate's degree for 35 more credits. Now we start at 2 different time points in the year. We have 2 cohorts, one that starts in the fall, and that fall start is an intensive 9-month program. And the winter start is the regular full-time completion program for 12 months. Both of those starts land you in the certificate degree. Nice thing about our program is that we are hybrid, which is really cool, which is really adaptable to someone who might work another job. And that means that students come to campus for 1 full day per week for in-classroom activities, and then they come to Zoom 1 day a week. That's a shorter day. And then the other days you're doing work on Canvas, which is our learning management system online, asynchronously. So there's no class on those other days. All students will also complete 432 hours of externship, which is actually, boots on the ground. You're at the pharmacy, you're learning, you're at our partners in the local area, and you'll be at 2 different sites over 432 hours. We're really excited because our program has a pretty diverse class of students. Can we do 1 slide back? Sorry. And this is involving educational diversity, ethnic diversity, really people at all different points and journeys in their life come together to this program to make it a really robust and really enjoyable experience. We do have an application packet requirement, which is in addition to the regular college admissions. It requires you to do a couple of things like a background check, take either a placement test or provide transcripts that show placement into these levels. And then there is a pharmacy assistant license, which is a fee-based license that you apply through the Department of Health, but does not require any educational requirement for that license. We average about 25 to 28 students per class, which is nice and cozy, but big enough to feel like part of a group. Next slide, please. Well, what would you learn in the program? Well, we're a pharmacy program, so it is all about the drugs. And we focus on the top 200 to 300 drugs, actually, what they are, how they work, what are the warnings, what should we be watching out for when we see a patient on the medication. That's top 200 to 300 out of 20,000-ish drugs out there in our country on the market. So it's just a little drop in the bucket, but it's enough to keep us busy for those 9 to 12 months. We also learn everything about all the different fields of pharmacy, which is really cool because in pharmacy, there's a lot of diversity of practice types. You could work in a hospital and mix IVs. You could dispense at a community pharmacy, actual oral formulations or things that someone might take home to their house. We also work with nursing home medications. And then I don't know if some of you like to bake or cook, but we also cook or make medications from scratch, which is called compounding. And that's super fun, and some people really enjoy that field of pharmacy. So lots of things to pick from. We also, all students will take a national exam after completing our program. And our national exam first time pass rate is at 95%. So we're really stoked and excited about that. And we are launching for the first time kind of an intro to pharmacy class that's going to start this spring quarter. And this is a great way to kind of get in. There's no extra application for that class. It's no barrier. Just come in, join the class, learn about pharmacy, learn some vocabulary, learn a little bit about the math, and then see what's out there and decide for yourself if you want to progress on to the Pharm Tech program, or maybe you want to enter the workforce and be like a pharmacy assistant. So I mentioned the externship training earlier. All students will complete 432 hours of externship, and this is actually at the pharmacies. And we're really proud that we have a lot of great partnerships with our local pharmacies in the area. Some of our main partners include UW Medicine, Harborview Medical Center. In fact, they're the two biggest employers for our graduates here in our area. And Fred Hutch is another one, Callie Ross. So we have a lot of strong partnerships in our community, and you'll be actually working at those places during your externship. And if you go on Indeed.com, I don't know if you've been on there lately, but get on there and type in pharmacy technician, you'll see a long list of jobs that are available in the area with a pretty wide range of compensation options and practice types. And as you see some listed there on the screen, you could work at a hospital as an IV tech, you could work at a long-term care pharmacy, and these compensation ranges vary from anything as around like upper 20s per hour all the way up to like 45 to 50 per hour, which is a pretty good ROI for about a 1-year certificate degree. And about 93% of our graduates have a job within 3 months of getting licensure. So we're really excited for these graduates who just left our program in December. A lot of them, I just saw them at Harborview last week working there. So it's really excited to see that come full circle. So I'm really excited to meet some of you. Come to the breakout session and ask all your questions away. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. Next for respiratory care is Matthew.
Hi, my name is Matthew Muldoon. I am an intern with the Seattle Central Respiratory Care program. Respiratory care, if you don't know, it's a floor care, patient-focused type of healthcare, similar to nursing, except what we focus on is primarily the respiratory system, diseases of the respiratory system, and treatments for that. We offer a Bachelor of Applied Science program. So by the time you finish up with the respiratory care program, you will have a bachelor's degree. It is a full-time 7-quarter program, so just under about a year. We start every fall. Applications open in February, so potentially in a year from now, might want to be looking into that. We offer about seats for about 25 students each class, and our prerequisites is about 60 credits plus TEAS score. And those credits are primarily very similar to the same that you'd find in nursing programs prerequisites. And we are located at the Health Education Center as well. So the program, you're going to learn how to assess someone's respiratory condition. You're going to learn to listen to their lungs, to look at them, and get a sense of how their breathing is doing. You're also going to learn a lot of respiratory illnesses, of things that can impact their breathing. And then you're going to learn what do we do about that? What's the correct treatment for any given patient. And then the real bread and butter of what we do is management of mechanical ventilation. That's if you imagine, somebody has a tube going all the way into their lungs. We are the people who are, working on the machine that says how much they're breathing, how often they're breathing, how big a breath they might be getting, stuff like that. And our program offers lots of clinical opportunities at hospitals all around the city, as well as in Bellevue and in Kirkland. Potential careers that you might find in respiratory care is lots of hospital care, clinical care, might be in a pulmonary function lab that's gathering information on people's respiratory condition for diagnostic information, as well as sleep labs and home care. And then you'll find your alumni in just about every major Seattle hospital around here. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Matthew.
Thank you.
Doing a bit of a switch from health and medical into education and human services. We're going to start with Peggy for social and human services.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Peggy Martin Waters. Thank you all for being here. It's a pleasure to see so many of you. We actually are part of the division Healthcare and Human Services. And so that's important to know. We offer some wonderful opportunities in social and human services. So you can get an AST in social and human services, and you can either go in a generalist direction. You can also get a certificate in chemical dependency. We're going to change that name this year to addiction studies. And so students who are really interested in that field, have that opportunity to add those courses, and then they can get licensed by the state of Washington to be an addictions counselor. We also have a care navigation certificate that's just 10 credits. And that really is a study of both health and human services and how they work together to help clients reach, all their needs in a whole person way. So our average class size is 25 students. We take a lot of pride in working very closely with all our students. Most of the time, our students finish in about 2 years, but we're very flexible with our students. Sometimes students need to go part-time, and we work very closely with them to reach their goals. Eligibility really is not that hard. It's English 099 or math level 2. And so that isn't hard for most students to attain. We do have both online and in-person classes. We offer them both morning, afternoon, and evenings in different modalities. And when we are in person, we're at the Health Education Center, which is up on Beacon Hill. Students typically start in the fall with their Introduction to Human Services course, which really sets them up with a good foundation for the rest of the courses in the program. So we used evidence-based practices in working with families, groups, communities, so that students are set up to work, with communities, of their interest and in the communities that they choose. We're very based in the social justice framework in human services. There's so many different roles you can take in practice in this field. And so it's a very good foundational field to start with. And then students often decide specific areas that they want to practice in. We work with many diverse populations in this field, and our student base is very diverse. We can go to the next slide. So one of the things that's really important in this program is that you also get to complete 220 hours of field practicum where you go out in the community and work to be mentored by someone in the field, an on-site supervisor. So you go out into a nonprofit or some other kind of organization and you get your quote feet wet in the field, and that comes at the end of your academic studies. So potential careers that students go into are working with youth, adult, or family services. I already mentioned addiction disorders, behavioral health, housing, care coordination, child welfare, food insecurity, many more things. Really, there's so many areas of work in the social and human services field. And we're really happy to have so many community partnerships such as King County Human Services, Sound Health, the Center for Human Services, many of the recovery centers we work with in addiction studies. And so students have a lot of opportunity to work with different agencies and organizations throughout Seattle. And we're really happy too that our students, and Melissa will talk about that as soon as I'm done, have the opportunity to go from social and human services into the bachelor's program that Melissa will talk about in just a minute. So I'm very happy to answer any questions when we get into breakout rooms. It's really a wonderful helping profession for students to enter.
Thank you so much, Peggy. Melissa, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Thank you, Peggy. This is really a great opportunity for us to be able to highlight the pathway from SHS to the ABS bachelor's degree program. So our degree is a Bachelor of Applied Science degree. So we have an average of 30, average class size of 30. We can admit 30 students per cohort. I'll talk a little bit about the cohort a little bit later. Our program is a 6-quarter full-time, 9+ quarters if you do part-time. The prerequisite, you do have to have an associate's degree in social and human services, which Peggy just talked about. So that's why it makes it kind of a seamless transition into our bachelor's degree. But you can also be eligible for our degree with a general AA degree, plus 30 credits of social science courses. And that includes classes in like psychology, sociology, anthropology, political science. And then, or you also are required to do an admissions application that's specific to the bachelor's degree. Our courses are all evening, 6 to 8:20 p.m. virtual. So all of our courses are on Zoom, with some in person. Sorry, your earpiece just came out. With some in person sessions throughout the quarter. We are also located at the Health Education Center, and we admit students once a year each fall quarter. So our degree, it kind of builds off of the associate's degree program, where it really does, it's designed for people that want to work in human services, helping people, solving problems, and promoting positive social change. Our program is based on a cohort model, which means that all of the students who start in and get admitted in the same quarter every fall will take all of their bachelor's classes together. So a built-to-learning community, a best practice in higher education. Our program started in 2009, so we have many cohorts that have already graduated and gone through our program. And this also provides a pathway for students that want to do a master's degree. Many of our students do go on to master's degree. I would say the University of Washington's Master's of Social Work is probably the top program that our students go into. But many of our students graduate and pursue master's degrees in state, out of state, and in various disciplines. We also offer a guaranteed admissions pathway specifically for students in the SHS degree program that Peggy just talked about. It's a really great opportunity because it guarantees you admissions into our bachelor's degree, as long as you completed that associate's degree in social and human services and have a minimum of a 2.75 GPA. So you don't have to kind of compete for admissions into the program. You're guaranteed a spot as long as you have completed those conditions. And then similar also to SHS, our students are required to do 2 quarters of practical training where they're doing a field work out in the communities. They get to choose what community they want to work with. And so it's very intentional when they're looking for their placements, whether they want to work with children and families or work in schools, whether students want to work maybe working with at-risk youth, whatever community that they want to work with. It's really intentional about where they find their placements. And what I really appreciate also is that when students are coming out of the SHS program, they have 2 quarters of experience. And then when they're graduating with their bachelor's degree, they have an additional 2 quarters of experience. So many of our students are going on and getting really good jobs. They're qualifying for, greater positions of responsibility like directors, supervisors, managers in this field. So I kind of went ahead of myself. So many job titles include social worker, mental health counselor, substance use counselor, case manager, and then many students find employment at like Sound. These are just some examples. DSHS, King County Human Services, Wellsprings Family Services, CMAR, Youth Care. So it varies among many organizations and agencies in our communities.
Thank you, Melissa. And last but certainly not least is early childhood education with Rebecca.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca Cosby, and I'm the outreach specialist for the early childhood education program at North Seattle College. I'm also a graduate of our program, so hopefully by now I know a little bit about what our program offers and what our students will be doing throughout their time. We offer a few different options for folks. We offer pre-degree certificates that stack towards an Associate of Applied Science. And then we also offer a Bachelor's of Applied Science. And since we offer so many options depending on your current job, your hopeful job, or the place that you work, the timeline is also very different for each student. I'd say that most students complete their associate degree in about 2.5 to 3 years, because most of our students are already working, and so our flexible option for the associate degree allows them to kind of take classes part-time while being able to support themselves and their families. And then our bachelor's degree is a cohort model. So you're taking your bachelor's level courses at the same time with the same people each quarter. And that goes for 6 quarters after you're admitted. But there might be additional quarters that you need based on your general education requirements and your previous course history. Since most of our students are working already and kind of already have a career built up when they come to us, our program is online. So our classes are only offered virtually and fully online. Our virtual classes are usually 1 to 2 nights per week, starting at about 6:30. And then our fully online courses don't have any required class meeting times. This means that you can be living in the city of Seattle and taking classes with us, but it also means you could be like some of our other students who are living out in Yakima or are living. I have a student right now who's out in Montana and is taking classes with us. So some students will even take classes when they're on vacation. I had a class once with someone who was in Hong Kong visiting family, right? So there are a lot of options for taking classes with us. For the associate and pre-degree certificates, you can start any quarter. Our BAS courses start each fall, but depending on what requirements you need to meet for your bachelor's degree, you might start earlier than that and start working on your elective credits or your general education credits. Most of our classes are about 25 people, so it's a decent size so that you can kind of feel like you're getting the support from your instructors, but you're also having a diverse range of experiences and perspectives to learn about from other students. For our associate and pre-degree certificates, there are no prerequisites. We do typically encourage people who are taking ESL classes to usually be at a level 5B, but that is not a requirement. And then you will do your math and English placements eventually, but we actually encourage people to start with ECE classes, early childhood courses first, and then we'll kind of guide you through placement testing and all of those good things. To apply for our bachelor's program, you just need at least 70 college level credits. And I don't particularly care what they're in. They could be in mortuary sciences, and I'll still take them. Eventually, before you start your BAS courses, I will come alongside and kind of help you make sure that you have your early childhood prerequisites completed and make sure that you also have at least 6 months of experience completed working within early childhood education. So some of the highlights of our program include that this is a program that's focused a little bit more specifically on ages 0 to 5, although early childhood education expands to 0 to 8. So most of our students will be working with infants, toddlers, preschoolers, but our program really it allows students to have the academic and theoretical background knowledge that helps you in your current day-to-day work with young children. And so there's this combination of practical knowledge, practical hands-on experiences, and then also the more theoretical background knowledge. One of the core tenets of our program is anti-bias and anti-racist education and inclusive practices. And so our students will spend time in each class really thinking about the barriers that they've experienced in education and the barriers that their students and families experience in accessing education. And then we take it a step further by really thinking about how can we challenge those current barriers, and how can we make education a more accessible space for all students, and how can we make our classrooms a really welcoming environment. This program also meets state education requirements for early childhood educators. So while we don't offer a teaching certificate for elementary, middle, and high school, we do offer teaching certificates for early educators that will get them into assistant and lead positions. So careers in early childhood education are vast. Many of our students remain in childcare programs like childcare centers, family home childcare programs, before and after school care, things like that. And they'll work as assistant teachers, lead teachers, administrators, curriculum supervisors. But we also have other folks who move into kind of niche areas of the field. So we'll have many students who go into early learning coach positions. So those are folks who come into centers and help support teachers and administrators. We also have people who go into advocacy and philanthropy, people who work for the state. And then there are, of course, like people like me and others on our team who move into higher education. We have a number of partners in the area, including Refugee Women's Alliance, or REWA. We also work with Sound Childcare Solutions, La Escuelita, El Centro, Bright Spark, and a lot more community partners that have been around for a long time. That being said, the early childhood education field also includes a lot of smaller sites and programs that are doing incredible work within the communities.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Appreciate your time. And to everybody here, well, all the faculty and staff, thank you so much for your presentations. Students, guests here, I'm going to encourage you to keep exploring. In just a second, we're going to go into our breakout rooms. But remember, we've got events all week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, same Zoom link. So just come back here at the same time if you want to hear about more programs in different areas of study. Before we do the breakout rooms, really quick, pull out your phones, give this a scan. I want to check in. I want to see, was there a program tonight that you heard from that you really want to know more information about? If you go here, and Beth, maybe you can drop in the link to this in the chat as well, if you're able. But if you can go here, put your first name, last name, email, select from the drop-down list. It doesn't have to be the program that you are going to do, just one that you heard about it and you said, I just want to know a little bit more about that. We want to send you a customized message that's going to give you some specific information about how you can follow up. So I'll leave this up for a few more seconds before we go into breakout rooms. You can snag that with your phone, or hopefully it'll be in the chat at some point. All right. So next we're going to move into breakout rooms, and we will see if those are ready. Oh, look at that. We've got 9 rooms. So faculty, as you are